Welcome to the Pub Sports Radio MLB Closing Time Show. It is Tuesday, June the 8th. Ian Cameron, Conor Mac, Jose Bouquett with you on a Tuesday, ready to break down the MLB slate. But before we do that, Jose, you want to take care of some business. Go for it.
Yes. If you saw Jimmy the Bag and saw my appearance on there, you learned that I still have not been paid out for a wager. My Red Sox came into the Bronx, swept the Yankees. And I wanted to memorialize it. I wanted to put up said $10 that I would be getting. But since I haven't gotten, I had some drawing skills here. I took the time, I drew a little something. I drew a broom. This is Mills right here too. If you guys see, there's a nice beard. And I commemorize it. I'm going to hang it up behind me while we do the show. So thank you to everyone who believed in me to get me this moment. I know you guys all worked so hard for it.
There we go. He's got a right to be celebratory, Jose Bouquett, because that was some kind of sweep over the weekend by the Boston Red Sox over the New York Yankees. Impressive stuff, and the Boston Red Sox trying to show that they ain't going anywhere in this AL East race at any point in the short term or in the near future. So with that in mind, we'll turn our attention to the Tuesday MLB slate here that we've got. We'll start with the New York Mets taking on the Baltimore Orioles here. A little interleague action tonight. We got a battle of lefties here. David Peterson and Bruce Zimmerman on the mound, and two lefties I don't really like or trust all that much either. We've got obviously the Mets here in this short favorite range, believe it or not, against Baltimore. The total 9.5. I don't know if I'm biting on this time around with these little short favorites against the Baltimore Orioles, because I took Cleveland in this spot Sunday. They were laying just a nice little short price there against Baltimore. It's like that mouse, and they're planting the cheese down, and I'm falling for that trap. And I think that's exactly what happened with Cleveland. Baltimore bombed them on Sunday. And look, as much as I think this is a cheap price to back the Mets here, they're just I don't love Peterson enough to want to lay a price with them, even a shorter price like this. He has struggled this season. And one thing the Orioles do well, lefties pretty well. And that's something you have to keep in mind going into this start. The Orioles have done well against lefty pitching. On the flip side, Bruce Zimmerman, not very trustworthy or reliable either. I think the Mets can do some damage. And look, the Mets lineup's coming around. They're getting a little bit healthier the last week to 10 days. They're definitely getting some of their bats returning to the lineup. It's going to be a warm evening at Camden Yards. I'm actually going with the over both ways in this game in terms of first five and full game over the total. I think you've got both of these starters getting hit. The bullpens certainly are capable of giving up a few runs late as well. So I like over first five, over 9.5 full game. Mets Orioles. Connor, what do you think here? Mets Orioles.
Yeah, this one's pretty ugly. Even with these bad pitchers, Zimmerman's pitched a little bit better as of lately and got me the other day. I'm going to stay away. I can't trust Peterson. Orioles hit lefties. Both these teams hit lefties pretty good. But I don't know if they get to 10. We have seen more runs, and you have seen that spin rate. Like you talked about, Jose, a bunch of the players, going down. So Trevor Bauer, I saw his was, way down.
Hilarious.
Yeah, so.
And he struggled, of course.
He struggled a little bit. He pitched decent, but yeah. This is a game I'm just going to stay off of. I don't want Peterson. I don't want the Mets. They can't hit. I don't want them as a favorite. I don't want the Orioles as a short price, so I'm going to pass.
They can't hit lefties, though, especially lately. They've done pretty decently there.
Just
see.
Plus 100 with the O's. Doesn't seem like much of a bargain.
Better lately, for sure. They have. Yeah. But, two bad pitchers. I'm just going to think both of them can be susceptible tonight. We'll wait and see. Jose, what do you think here, Mets Orioles?
I'll just echo what you guys said, basically. Ian, I'm leaning towards you, but I do not want to bet this game either. I am interested in an underdog of this next game, which I think is our next game, I should say. I never know the order, but I'd pass on this one.
All right, next up we got your Red Sox here. Houston Astros and the Boston Red Sox here. We've got Framber Valdez and Martin Perez on the mound here, lefty battle. In this one, the total's been steamed up. We're seeing 10 now with this total. People not seeing the way these pitchers have gone lately? Even Martin Perez, who has been the bane of my existence, I don't like much of what I see from him usually, but he has pitched well. Let's give him his due. He's pitching well enough, serviceable, keeping his team in the game. And so people are betting the shit out of this total. And Framber Valdez has also been very good in limited duty this year. So I don't really get it, to be honest with you. I mean, 10 seems very high for the way these two pitchers have been rolling along. Now, I know the season-long mantra has been the Astros mash lefties, which, it's true. They hit lefties pretty well. But I remember they faced Perez recently. They didn't do shit off of him in that last game that they faced him. However, we are talking about, a second look, second turnaround. And we talked about this with Adbert Alzolay last night. I said, I'm not trusting Adbert Alzolay to shut down the Padres again. And he struggled. He's facing them for the second time in like a week to 10 days. Same thing here with Perez against Houston. I just get that sense that, and I think the betting markets sense that too, pushing the total up, that they're going to fare a lot better this time around against Martin Perez than they did the first time. We'll have to wait and see on that. But it's just very peculiar that with the overall numbers these two pitchers are bringing to the table, we've seen the total steamed up to 10 here in this game. I don't have much of an opinion side or total on this one, but just fascinating to see how this total ended up getting steamed. Connor, what do you think here? Houston, Boston.
Yeah, I think the Astros hit Perez today. I mean, they didn't the other day. Obviously, you were there. Weren't you there, Jose, for that game?
I was there for both of these pitchers pitching on 2 separate days. Yes.
Yeah.
Not against each other, though.
Yes, not against each other. Red Sox are just playing hot. It's a difficult one. If I look to the Astros, it'd only be first 5. You can get him -115, -120. Valdez has looked really, really good since he's came off the IL. Both these teams hit lefties. I can see runs there. Maybe a first 5 over, but how do you trust that? These pitchers have pitched well lately. Kind of everything's going different directions here. That's why it's a stay off for me. But I'd lean Astros if I were to bet something on this. I'd look maybe a little bit over. These guys get hit, but they're pitching well. And the Astros first 5 because I don't want the bullpen. But I've had success all week with the Red Sox. And plus money, it's hard to – so difficult one here. Now you got me talking in circles. I'm going to probably –
That's right. Contradictory factors. I have 3 or 4 games a day on the card where I talk in circles with these games where something looks good, but then there's a counter argument to it. And you look at the other side, something else looks good, and then there's another counter argument to it.
Look at the money. So, everything.
That's when you pass. Yeah. Exactly right, Connor. That's when you pass. Jose, what do you think here? Red Sox, Astros.
I thought the total was weird too, so I would go with the unders here. Maybe I'll be the fish that the markets need. I'll take the under. Both these pitchers have been pitching well. I don't think Martin is going to pitch too great today. I mean, dazzled in Houston when I was there when it really mattered. So I'll take any kind of performance. I'll take the under. And I like the first 5 under too, 5.5. I mean, you guys said it. Both these pitchers have been pitching great. I just hope. My worry would be Martin getting touched up by the Astros by himself. The Matt Randall taint play of the day is Astros money line full game. So I said it in the last show. Everything seems to be against the Red Sox today. So my expectations are low.
All right, there you go. So when the Red Sox fan is telling you low expectations, may not be the time to back the Bo Sox today for this particular game. And I just feel Martin Perez is not going to dazzle and baffle Houston like he did just recently at the Juice Box there where you were, Jose, Minute Maid Park there. I think things are going to be a little bit different for him tonight in this one. But obviously we'll have to wait and see. This guy's just been, like I say, a pain in the ass because he's usually been someone I auto-fade, and this year it hasn't been quite as fruitful. To be able to do that because he's put together these outings where he's actually pitched not too decently. So we'll see if he can keep it up tonight. Next game up, Atlanta Braves, Philadelphia Phillies here. Drew Smiley and Aaron Nola. N-O-L-A, Nola for the Phillies. -165, home favorites here. The total, 9 pretty much across the board in this one. Nola at home. Pretty damn good this season. I think 4-1 at home. The Phillies are in his home starts. He's got his best starts this season have consistently been here in this ballpark. So that's good news going into this outing. Drew Smiley is a fade for me, continues to be 5.98 ERA. Road ERA has been absolutely dreadful as well for Drew Smiley. This looks like Phillies team total over spot potentially for me. Because I don't know if I want to trust the Braves against Nola at home, where he's pitched really well. I mean, we've seen him give up 2 runs or less in the majority of his home starts this season. So to me, I would probably just prefer to isolate the Philly lineup against Smiley rather than put my faith in what the Braves do or don't do against Aaron Nola tonight. So I do lean a little to the Phillies team total over. They are one of these teams, though, I'm always a little sketchy to bet their team total over, because there are nights when even against these subpar pitchers, they get shut down, and it's hard to fathom or explain why that is. So we'll have to wait and see on this one. And you're right, the Phillies against lefties are another concern. They've just had a real trouble hitting them. This is a bad lefty, but they've had trouble against that type of pitcher all season. So I lean Phillies team total over, but I can't say I'm in love with it. What do you think here, C-Mac, Philly, Atlanta?
Yeah, this one's interesting. Nola at home's a lot better. I don't really want him at minus 150. He's gotten hit pretty at times. Some guys don't have well, but the long ball's been his bad one. And against a bunch of guys here, Freeman's got a couple, Cunha Jr., Swanson, ton of guys on the Braves. Austin Riley's got a few. There could be runs here. Maybe a full game over 8.5. Phillies get some off Smiley as well. He's pitched better. But it's been tough trusting the Phillies lineup at times. I know Harper's back. I lean over in this game. Full game over 8.5. You could look team total as well. And definitely there's some Jack of the Day guys we'll talk about later. But I'm probably going to stay off if I bet anything over 8.5 full game.
You could take a shot with Atlanta, because to me, this price is in terms of just the overall team form. They shouldn't be this big of an underdog. It's obviously an Aaron Nola influenced line, and obviously a Drew Smiley influenced line, because he hasn't been very good. But there is not a minus 165 gulf or gap between these two teams right now. There just isn't. So there's no way I would even think about endorsing the
Smiley.
Phillies. Yeah, no way. Jose, what do you think here, Atlanta, Philly?
Yeah, this is kind of a crap game, to be honest. I mean, we all expected these teams to be pretty solid coming into the year, and now the Braves are having the full year from hell, and the Phillies are doing the same thing they do every year, seemingly. So I'll probably stay off this game. Honestly, the thing that I was most looking at was first 5 under 4.5. Maybe Drew Smiley can put together a decent start, and Nola can do his thing. But I just think it's so crazy that the Braves have 200 plus at bats against Aaron Nola, and they're pretty substantial underdogs. It would definitely be Braves or nothing for me with a lean to the first 5 under there.
Yeah.
All right, Dodgers and Pirates. We've got Buehler and Brubaker on the mound here in this one. Dodgers minus 205, road favorites, 8.5 the total in this one. I'm going to keep it brief here. Buehler's the better pitcher on the better team. But I'm not laying minus 200 on the road with this Dodgers team. On the flip side, though, Pittsburgh is not exactly a team I trust to hit Buehler. And on the flip side, Brubaker has kind of regressed a little bit the last couple of starts. He's not, he's really good early in the season, not quite as dominant or as sharp the last few outings. So, and Dodgers, we know their offense has been pretty damn good in recent games. And also the Atlanta series, so looking to bounce back a little bit as well, the way that series ended. So, and an off day as well going into today. So that Dodgers bullpen is rested. Dodgers should win, but I'm not laying this price. Connor, anything for you here, Dodgers and Pirates?
Yeah, I'm not going to lay the price with the Dodgers. The Pirates are interesting. Buehler hasn't been good this first 5, but he's still undefeated. His ERA still under 3. I haven't looked at his strikeout prop yet. I'd look at the first 5 under 4 at even money. I'm sure there's 4.5s that were juiced high. I don't have it anymore. I'd look that way. Yeah, I can't take the Pirates. Dodgers had the day off. That's why even the first 5 under 4 is difficult. It's one I'm going to look at further, but I lean that way here.
All right, Jose, Dodgers, Pirates.
I'm on the island. I'm raising the flag. I'm on the Jolly Roger again. I'm on the Pirates' first 5 innings here. I think here's another hypothesis. I think that Walker Buehler spin rates are going to be down for some magical reason. They might be down for some reason. Who's to say why? And I think the Pirates can touch him up a little bit. And by touch up, I mean they're not going to score like 6 runs off the guy. But how about 3? How about 3 runs, and then we get out of there. Brubaker somehow puts together a decent outing. I like that first 5 over as well. Honestly, I mean, Connor is my gambling first 5 guru here, and going against him is always worrisome and not advisable, especially for me. But I do like the Pirates today, first 5 money line. I think they can get it done.
Wow, going for the Pirates first 5. You're right. Bueller's been nothing's come easy for him. For some reason, he's been involved in a lot of close games and not a lot of comfortable victories this season for the LA Dodgers. So we'll see if Brubaker can hang in there against this obviously very potent Dodgers lineup. Jose liking them in the first 5 innings. In this one, Seattle, Detroit, we've got battle of lefties here. Marco Gonzalez, Matt Boyd on the mound. Detroit home favorites in that minus 130 range in this game. Total 8.5 across the board. I definitely favor Matt Boyd in this start. Matt Boyd, I cashed a first 5 ticket with him last start against Milwaukee. He didn't even really pitch all that great in that game, but he was getting a very big plus price in that one. Didn't trust the starter that was on the mound that night for the Brewers, and he really got hit hard and lit up in that game, and the Tigers cashed a first 5 ticket in that game. I lean Detroit here, first 5. I definitely have more faith right now in Boyd than in Gonzalez. Seattle lineup, sketchy at times. I cashed with them over the weekend, but they go through these ups and downs where one game they could get 5, 6 for you, and then they could go 3, 4 in a row where they barely get to 1 or 2 runs. That's just the way that's the way it is with Seattle. Their proficiency against lefties is nothing to write home about. Gonzalez is just not someone I can get behind. He's just not consistent enough that I trust him to want to back him, especially on the road. So the price ain't great. You're laying a price with a Detroit Tigers team that their record's nothing all that great either, 24 and 35. But I definitely favor Boyd over Gonzalez. Lean here is Tigers first 5. Connor, what do you think here? Seattle, Detroit.
Yeah, I'm off this one here. Gonzalez came off the IL. He pitched well. He pitched only 4 innings. Supposed to just pitch 3. I can't trust Marco Gonzalez though. Just as he pitched 4 good innings last game, he could get touched today. Even though the Tigers don't have lefties that well. And Matt Boyd, who pitched well early on, the last 4 starts, has kind of struggled. He struggled against the Brewers, gave up 3 homers. I'm going to pass here. I don't love the Tigers in this role, minus 125. I'm just going to pass. I was on the Mariners in Anaheim a couple games at plus money, but I just don't want Gonzalez here. I'm going to pass. Maybe some runs, but you got to trust these. You got to trust these lineups. So. Can't do it.
You said it. I mean, the price just ain't right. Not the right price range for me with Detroit here. Jose, anything for you here? Seattle, Detroit.
I trust both of these pitchers, oddly enough, and I think it's more trusting both of these offenses to stink. They're both not good. I would lean first 5 under, first 5 under 4.5. And I was looking for Marco Gonzalez's strikeout props, but it doesn't seem to be out anywhere. And right now, I'm looking at a Matt Boyd over 5.5, but minus 140 is just ridiculous. So I would lean to the first 5 under, but this is a very, very, very bad game. And if you're watching this game for enjoyment, then you need to talk to someone.
Yeah, you could always watch it for Kalenic there, that kid from Seattle.
He got sent down.
Oh, geez, there you go.
Yeah, like yesterday. Like, bad times in Seattle.
Yeah, not good. Exactly. They're just the one thing you could get excited about. And even Logan Gilbert, you're trying to get excited for that kid. And he was a little bit better last time. He settled down after a little bit of a rough start, but he's still trying to get better as well for the Mariners in that rotation. They do have some pieces, but again, it's almost like Seattle. We can't have fans the way the Mariner fan probably thinks we can't have nice things. At this point, Milwaukee and Cincinnati, Reds minus 145, home favorites, 8.5 the total in this game. Hauser taking on Sonny. Yesterday, my life was filled with rain. Sonny Gray for the Reds. We'll have to wait and see how this one goes. Gray, 3.64 ERA, solid numbers. Not a big fan of Hauser, 3-5, 3.86 ERA for him coming into this start. You look at previous performance of these 2 lineups against these pitchers, in particular the Reds against Hauser, Naquin, Winker, Suarez, Castellanos, big damage. This is the absolute must bet Jack of the day today is Jesse Winker. First of all, this guy is smashing the ball out of the yard right now. in recent games. I think he's had a 3 home run game over the weekend in one game. He's basically been hitting at least a homer in every game the last like 4 or 5 days, and he's hit 5 home runs in just 13 at bats against Adrian Hauser in the past. 8 hits, 5 of them home runs. I wouldn't talk you out of Naquin. I wouldn't talk you out of Suarez, Castellanos. There is home run leave the yard potential here for the Reds in this one. Sonny Gray, again, I think this is a spot where you could look Cincinnati. You could look Cincinnati team total over. You could look at the full game over 8.5. This is one of those spots I think you go in with the trifecta here. Cincinnati, first 5 full game split. Cincinnati team total over, full game over. This is just Hauser's not great to begin with, and this is significant damage that's been done against him by multiple hitters in this Reds lineup. So that's what I like. Cincy here. Cincy runs, Cincy to win the game, and a bunch of home run props here, especially Winker. 5 home runs against this guy in just 13 at bats. That's insane. He's in incredible form with the long ball right now at the plate. Jesse Winker as well. That is an absolute must in my opinion tonight. Connor, what do you think here? Reds, Brewers.
Yeah, this is a difficult one because all these great numbers for the Reds, like Winker, like you mentioned, Suarez, all these guys. But if I'm taking the Reds here in gray, I got to take them first 5. And at minus 165, I don't love it. You have to take a half run. Don't really love that either. I mean, I lean that way here with the Reds early. That bullpen's horrible. So I'd leave Reds first 5. And if you really got to look towards a half a run to get a good price, unless you're cool with laying 165. And Brewers could be late. This could be an in-game over with the bullpen of the Reds. And the Brewers, they're getting better, but they haven't hit Gray too well. A few guys have. So interesting one with the total and everything. But I lean Reds early.
All right, lean into the Cincinnati Reds here early. In this game, like I say, I like them to win. I like them first 5 full game. I like that team total over, especially. That's probably my favorite.
Yeah, that's a good
make. Full game over, I think, can get there as well. And like I said, Winker, Suarez, Castellanos, Naquin, those 4 guys, home run props, especially Winker. I might even go 1 unit, and I don't do that very often on a home run prop. I might do that with Winker. That is unbelievable. Sure, well, the current form is spectacular right now for him at the plate. Like he's just a home run hitting machine right now, and he's got 5 in 13 ABs against Hauser. So not only is the current form on for him, but the history against this pitcher is just demoralizing for Hauser. And by the way, Hauser's given up a shit ton of hard hit contact. A lot of his outs are fly ball outs. They're line drives right at the outfielders. I mean, he is just he gives up hard contact. Put it that way. Jose, what do you think here?
I think you guys said it all. I'll keep it short. I mean, Winker, Jack of the Day, is obvious. He's been an absolute animal, and he and Nick Castellanos might be 2 all-star starters in the outfield for the Reds, which is crazy. So let's just keep on going.
Absolutely. I mean, that you know where I'm going for that segment later on. Jack of the Day. We'll be mentioning Jesse Winker again. Colorado, Miami, Senzatella, Pablo Lopez. Supposed to start yesterday at Fenway Park, and now he has been backed up to today because of the pitching change yesterday. We've got Miami minus 200, almost in that minus 190 range in this game total. 6.5, 7 across the board here in this one. You've got Senzatella, who has a 4.47 ERA. He's pitched actually better at Coors, to be honest with you. On the road, a little bit suspect. Pablo Lopez, 2.82 ERA. This is where he usually pitches his best, is at home. This is the extra day off, throw him off his rhythm a little bit. Perhaps we'll have to wait and see. Total is extremely low especially with Senzatella on the mound. I'm tempted by the over here. You talk about Jose liking his sneaky overs sometimes when you're talking these 6.5s and 7s. This is one of those games where it looks like a sneaky over to me at 6.5 and 7. Senzatella and a total of 6.5, 7 doesn't seem right to me. Connor, what do you think here? Rockies, Fish.
Yeah, I'm going to probably stay off this one. Lopez back at home. He's laying a huge price. I don't want that with the Marlins, and they're not playing well enough for me to take them a half a run or run line. I mean, it's possible. The Rockies are horrible on the road. We've talked about that. So you got to trust the Marlin at bat. Senzatella, after getting rocked early on, has pitched well his last 4 starts. ERA just above 2. And this is his first start ever against the Marlins. He's only had a few relief appearances. So I don't know. I'm going to stay off. This could go over. You're right. Only at a 7. Got to trust these lineups. It's maybe a look here, Ian, but I'm going to probably just stay away here.
All right, Jose, what do you think here? Colorado, Miami.
I think I'm with you, Ian. I mean, I was shaking my head vigorously just now when you were saying sneaky over. So I like the over here, but I mainly like the first 5 over 3.5. I've been screwed before by taking these 3.5s just because I look at the pictures and they give up 1-2 runs and then you feel like you're screwed already. I think Pablo can give up, 1 run in the first 5, and then Senzatelli can give us the rest pretty easily. So I like that first 5 over 3.5.
All right, first 5 over 3.5 with the Marlins and the Rockies. Next up, Nationals and Rays. We've got John Lester. I was going to call him JT Lester for some reason. John Lester on the mound for the Washington Nationals, and Tyler Glasnow for the Rays. And obviously, when you see Glasnow's name, you know Tampa Bay is going to be huge favorites, and they are here, minus 240, minus 250 in this one. Total 7.5 across the board here in this game. Tyler Glasnow, 2.69 ERA this season. Last 3 starts, 3.66 ERA. So, he has been prone to home runs. It's been prone to, giving up some walks have all of a sudden crept into his game a little bit. And he just hasn't pitched that clean, dominant, type of Tyler Glasnow start that we've become accustomed to seeing from him. At home, though, here at the Trop, that's pretty much where he's been at his best. 4-1 on the season, 1.72 ERA this year at Tropicana Field. John Lester on the flip side, 4.37 ERA. I want nothing to do with John Lester right now at this point in time. The problem is, though, the Rays do have their susceptibility at times hitting lefty pitching, but this is a lefty that's, to me, is very hittable right now. So that's the back and forth I've got here in this game. And when you factor in Glasnow's not been, lights out to the level I thought, and you factor in that the Rays just haven't hit lefties as well as I would like, even against Lester, who struggled, I don't necessarily trust them enough. I certainly want no part of them at this price. I don't want Washington either. Clear and easy pass for me. Connor, what do you think here? Washington, Tampa Bay.
Yeah, this one's a pass maybe as well. I don't know. It's just Lester, maybe first 5 plus 200 is a little interesting to me. Glasnow hasn't been sharp, but he's back home. You talked about it. The Rays they hit lefties a little bit. It's usually like a long ball. They strike out. Lester's strikeout prop over 4.5. Can he get 5? I don't know. Glasnow's over 7.5 and minus 125. I think he could probably get his. So maybe some K props in this one. Yeah, if Lester can get 5, I don't know if I'll bet it, but he's not the strikeout pitcher he once was. So if I were to bet anything, I'd take a shot with the Nats plus 200 here. A little shot on them first 5.
Yeah, just to make the handicap even more frustrating, because I want to fade Lester, but the Rays overall this season only have a 217 batting average against lefties. And then to make it even more difficult, I see that actually a few of them in limited at-bats have hit Lester pretty good. Zunino, Meadows, 3 for 6 with a home run. Manuel Margot, 5 for 10 with a 500 average. So it tells you that some of these guys have actually hit him. So it's just, you get migraines just going around and round and round with games like this. Yeah. So that's why I'm staying off it. Jose, what do you think here? Washington, Tampa Bay.
I gave out Tyler Glasnow over 7.5 Ks as my say hey play of the day on Jimmy's show. So I got the Conor Mac blessing, and I'm not gonna fail now. I feel like Chance the Rapper, and I've been given the blessing from Kanye West, aka Conor Mac. So I'm great.
Absolutely good stuff. By the way, yeah, JT, right. You said I should save the Jack of the Day. Usually when we talk game by game, and if I really like a Jack of the Day, I'll mention it as we talk about that game, but then I'll reiterate it at the end of the show. You should be watching the show the whole time anyway, regardless of, I understand what you're saying. You got to save some for the end of the show, but hey, this is a great show start to finish. Everybody should be watching start to finish, shouldn't they? The MLB closing time show. All right, San Francisco and Texas. We've got Alex Wood. Wood is good, continues to be, well, last time out he was not very good. One of his rare poor outings this year. Jordan Lyles, on the other hand, for Texas, San Francisco minus 145, road favorites, 8.5 the total. I think it's a good chance for Wood to bounce back here. I mean, it's a weak hit Texas lineup at this point in time. Texas is a little bit better at home, but that's not saying much. They just are pathetic on the road. But still, this is not a Texas team I can endorse. Jordan Lyles is just absolutely not very good. A 5.75 ERA on the season. It's definitely a pitching edge, team edge for San Francisco. I don't know if I love the price, minus 145 on the road, but I think all things considered, it actually could be higher in my mind. So definitely lean San Francisco here. Probably won't bet it, but definitely a firm lean toward the Giants here for me. Conor Mac, what are your thoughts here, Giants and Rangers?
Yeah, I have a couple leans. It's hard to trust Lyles, but he's got good numbers against these Giants. Crawford's 4 for 19, Posey 5 for 18, Duggar 1 for 7, Flores 1 for 4. I lean the first 5 under 4. You probably getting a 4.5. That's minus 125 or 30. The 4's at even money. I lean that way, and I think you got to lean Giants here a little bit. They're just one of the best first 5 teams in baseball. I take a half run a little bit here with Wood on the mound, bring it down. Get it down, I don't know, minus 105. Those are the 2 leans I have in this one.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely when I see this game, I want no part of Texas. It's just a question of value. I didn't love the value of San Francisco, but clearly if that's the side I'm betting in this game, it's San Francisco. Jose, what's your thoughts here?
Yeah, this is a pretty crappy game. I mean, honestly, if I was betting this game, I'd bet the underdog. I'd bet the Rangers' first 5 with Jordan Lyles. I think he still has a pretty good first 5 record. If the chat could pull up his first 5 record, I'd greatly appreciate it. But other than that, there's really nothing else I would really look at. First 5 Rangers maybe, but that's even a stretch still. Overall, still a pass for me.
Yeah, a couple guys have hit him. Chris Davis, Charlie Culverson's 5 for 10. So a few guys for the Rangers hit Alex Wood. But that's old Alex Wood, I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's always the thing about these freaking guys like Gossman and Wood on this rotation for the Giants. You look at hitters that have hit them hard in the past. Well, that's back in the days they stunk and they weren't any good. Baltimore for Gossman, Braves and Dodgers for Wood in the past, and they just weren't any good. But this year, there's like the different human beings this year, both of them, and that's why the Giants have the record they have, because of guys like that have pitched so well for them. Reclamation projects. Essentially. Toronto Blue Jays and Chicago White Sox next up here. We've got battle of lefties here. Robbie Ray, Carlos Rodon, your pitching matchup. White Sox, $1.40 road favorites, 8 the total. Carlos Rodon has had a great season, but came to a little bit of a halt in his last outing against the Cleveland Indians. 5 runs, 9 hits, 6 innings, didn't really pitch all that well. So it was a rough outing for him. He'll try to bounce back against the Jays. We'll see how he fares here. He's done well against them in the past, but those starts came long ago. Robbie Ray, on the other hand, 3.57 ERA, very good in his last start against the Marlins. 1 run, 9 strikeouts in 6 innings, 69 strikeouts. How about only 14 walks and 58 innings this year for Robbie Ray? That's been the huge component of his success. Walks have been just the kryptonite of Robbie Ray's pitching for years, and finally he has reined that in. And look, it's time to pump the brakes on the bang and the drum of the White Sox against lefties for a little bit. They've not been hitting the lefties lately. I mean, what's going on? Minor, Sharpie's pointing it out. Minor, Skubal. These are guys that have shut this team down against lefties. And I'll throw another nugget of stats and data to support that. For the season, against lefties, still 269 average, still 6.35 runs per game, still pretty good, really good. But you go to the last 10 games for the White Sox, the batting average has dropped from 269 to 244 as a team. So that's a 25-point drop. And the runs per game have gone from 6.35 to 3.74 in their last 10 games against lefties. So they're actually hitting much better against righties in terms of runs per game, in the last 10 games, the White Sox, than they are against lefties. So to me, this is not, I'm off the White Sox against a lefty, automatic auto play, auto bet for one game here, especially with Robbie Ray. Well, like I said, all season long, I respect the way he's turned it around. He's not walking guys anymore. There might be some value with the Jays side here a little bit here in this game, especially the way they've been playing. They're playing good ball at this point in time. See if they can continue it here tonight in the Windy City. Connor, what do you think here? Blue Jays, White Sox. Are the White Sox, they're not that same team against lefties as of recent games.
Yeah, they haven't. I want to give a quick shout out to my guy, Razor Sharp Picks. Check out his Gambler's First Glance here on YouTube, PSR. Go check it out. They're always great. Sharpie, all our guys, JT, Wyatt, everyone in here, the normal. Thanks for being in here, guys. I'd have to go with I'd lean a first 5 under 4 with these two pitchers here. I get what you're saying, Sharpie. I maybe lean Jays at plus money first 5. It's just I still got the White Sox can hit lefties, even they haven't lately. I'm probably going to stay off. And the first 5 under 4 here is plus 105. Both these pitchers have been well. Can Robbie Ray do it here? I don't know. The walks are what worries me. 3-run bomb. There goes my under. So I'm leaning that way. I'm going to just think about this one.
All right, Jose, what do you like here? Jays, White Sox.
I'm on the first 5 under as well. First 5 under 4. I've been screwed so many times betting the White Sox this year. I feel like every time I bet the White Sox, and somewhere or another, they just fucking flame out. I'm a little worried about Robbie Ray in this equation, but like you said, they haven't been the same White Sox team hitting wise recently. I think he can get out of the first 5 inning with a run or two, maybe, and then Carlos Rodon has been arguably one of the best pitchers in the American League this year. So hopefully he bounces back.
Yeah, he finally had a rough outing a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, and that worried me for a second. But I mean, he's been great all year. I have no reason to not think that he's going to bounce back. And if he doesn't bounce back, it's something that I will memory hole and make sure to bet against him next time.
Yeah, that's a very good points there. No question. Next up, we've got the Yankees and the Twins. We've got Jordan Montgomery on the mound, Michael Pineda for the Twins. We got even money here pretty much in this game. The total 9.5. I like the over a little bit. I like Minnesota first 5 in full game as well. Like it's fade Yankees until they show signs of getting something going. But it's been it was a dismal weekend for them against Jose's Boston Red Sox. They lost games every which way. Lost games getting blown out, lost games getting their ass kicked, and lost heartbreakers as well, like they did on Sunday Night Baseball against Boston. So this team just can't find ways to win right now. Montgomery, 3.92 ERA, but on the road, not good. 5.7 ERA away from Yankee Stadium this year. He's definitely had his struggles there. Michael Pineda, last start, not good at all against Baltimore. 5 runs, 7 hits, 3 innings. It's not like he's a guy that I'm rushing to back, but he's back home. He's done some of his best work this season here at Target Field. 2.62 ERA this season for Michael Pineda at home against the Yankees. He's held them to 214 collective team batting average, albeit a very small sample size. And look, he pitched briefly for the Yankees at one point. Probably wants to beat them. I think that's something that's going in his favor as well. So, again, I've got no problem betting against New York right now. None whatsoever. I like the Twins here. First 5 full game. Also a lean over 9.5 as well. Connor, what do you think here? Yankees, Twins.
Yeah, I lean Twins here, but I don't know. Pineda's got that arm soreness, and they pushed him back a few days, and he got touched up by Baltimore his last start there. I think he gave up five or 6 runs.
Also why I let the over, exactly. Backed myself up a bit.
Yeah, that over might be in play. I'd lean the Twins too, though, a little bit. Even with the question mark with Pineda, I don't want to lay any money with the Yankees on the road right now. So I'd be on the Twins plus 100 here as well.
All right. I don't think I have to twist Jose's arm to bet against the Yankees, but are you doing it tonight or no?
I'm not, which is the weirdest thing. I'm going to take Jordan Montgomery strikeout prop over 5.5. It's at even money. He's been pretty decent for them this year. He's a very up and down pitcher when it comes to strikeout. And I feel like I'll know immediately if he's going to get the strikeouts or not. He put up a 1 strikeout day this year, which was shocking to see on his game logs. But I think he can bounce back this Yankee squad, which has been so lifeless, so bad, just comedy bad. And it's been all which ways. They've had bad luck with the umpires. If you saw that outside strike call, which was the funniest thing I saw all weekend, that was awesome. And I wish we had first coach fired in baseball because Aaron Boone is on the chopping block.
You got to believe he's definitely feeling the heat right now. I mean, I don't like if this keeps up, he's going to be back with the ESPN crew on Sunday nights in the booth again. If he,
that's where he belongs.
Yeah. We will all be worse off if he's in there as well, too. No one's been good at the commentary there. Shout out to A-Rod, too. Awful job.
Yeah, I'll say one guy, play-by-play, color man, color woman, or otherwise, has been great for ESPN the last 10 years, Dan Schulman. And, of course, he's not doing it anymore because he decided I want to be back home closer to Toronto. So that's why, Vescursion's all right. I think he's okay, but, Santa Maria, I don't need to hear that every time there's a big home run. Come on. Man.
Well, Ian, let me tell you, whenever there's a Red Sox-Yankees game with A-Rod and Vescursion, it's literally just the Yankees home broadcast. That's all it is, and it's so annoying. So I'm very out on Matt Vescursion doing my Red Sox game.
Yeah, all right. No mas on Vescursion, who's also the Angels' local television and broadcaster now as well for Angel games, because Victor Rojas decided I'm going to get involved in managing some owning some minor league team or something like that. But that's why he left and Vescursion got that. But Vescursion's, like I say, okay, it goes a little overboard at times, but depends on what style of announcer you like. Cleveland and St. Louis next up. Bieber against Martinez here, as you would expect. Cleveland, a monster tag on the road here, minus 175 in that range. The total 7 here, pretty much across the board. In this one, you're never going to get a bargain with Shane Bieber on the mound. This season, 9-3 are the Cleveland Indians in his 12 starts, 3.08 ERA. Pretty solid numbers overall. Can't complain. The home run ball does hurt him every now and then. That's a problem. Carlos Martinez, not exactly a great season in a starter's role for him. Faced the Dodgers in that last start. And boy, didn't even get out of the first inning. 10 runs allowed, 4 walks, 6 hits. It was about as bad as you could possibly imagine for Carlos Martinez last start against the LA Dodgers here in this one. This is another one where this total is low, and I get it being low with Bieber, but Bieber seems to give up a run or 2 or 3 even in a lot of his starts lately. And Martinez, I sure don't trust him. Man, this is tempting at this low number to go up and over. Warm night at Busch Stadium. Definitely lean in that direction. Now, these two lineups are sketchy, Cleveland and St. Louis, but definitely am interested at least taking advantage of this number where it is, because Bieber's rarely cruised along where he's shutting the door completely, and obviously Martinez hasn't shut any doors this season for the most part when he's been on the mound. So this could be one of those games that gets over a very, very low, reasonable total. Connor, what do you think here, Cleveland, St. Louis?
Yeah, I'm going to stay away here. The sign total, no way the Indians. Bieber's all right, but the only thing I looked at was his K props. The Cardinals, not great against righties. They could hit a jack off him, but over 8.5, I think is low. I think he can get 9 or more. It's plus 125. So give me Shane Bieber's K props over 8.5. Other than that, you're right. This game could sneaky get over. Martinez couldn't even get out of the first inning against the Dodgers. What did he give up? 9 runs or whatever. So just a difficult spot. I don't want the Indians at that price, but give me Bieber's over K props here, 8.5.
Yeah, believe it or not, he hasn't hit 8 strikeouts in 3. He hasn't hit 8 strikeouts in 3 of his last 4 starts. Hard to believe.
I'll take it at plus money now.
Yeah, plus money now. Yeah, definitely. That's exactly why it is, because we have seen him stay below 8 3 of his last 4. Jose, what do you think here, Cleveland, St. Louis?
What's funny about that is that the one day that he did hit the over strikeout prop or whatever it is, over 8. I slid in there and made that one of my best bets and got it. So that's funny. Shout out to David Sharp, by the way, who has the David Sharp 30K prop of the day, which is also Shane Bieber as well. So shout out to him. I would lean first 5 over here as well. It's a 3.5. Ian, you said it. Shane's been giving up runs this year, 1, 2 runs, 3 runs maybe. 3.5. I think Carlos Martinez can get that by himself, honestly. So I think it's a low number that we could take advantage of, and it's at minus 110 too. So not a plus price, but still reasonable. I'd roll with that right there.
All right, good stuff. Next up, we've got the Kansas City Royals and the LA Angels. Chris Bubich and Andrew Heaney on the mound. The Angels around minus 150 here. Home favorites in this one. The total 8.5 across the board. The disappointing performance from Kovar last night in his major league debut for the Royals. 4 runs in the first inning. Very disheartening. Thought the Royals could have been a live underdog, and they didn't do as much damage against Dylan Bundy as I thought. I'm going to jump back to the Royals here again tonight, though, at another underdog price because Bubich, pretty good so far, 2.12 ERA this season for the Kansas City Royals. The LA Angels against lefties. They've been a little bit better against lefties lately, but still overall for the season, the number's nothing to write home about. On the other side of the fence, you've got Andrew Heaney on the mound for the Angels. And it's not been overly good for him this season. In general, he has struggled. 4.76 ERA, which isn't very impressive overall for Andrew Heaney on the year. By the way, here's an interesting stat. He's not been good at Angel Stadium either. 6.08 ERA for him in 5 home starts. 5-0 to the over in his home starts. 2-3, the win-loss record for the Angels in his 5 home starts for Heaney, and 9-1 to the over for the LA Angels this season in Andrew Heaney's 10 starts. So how about that for
wow? Just telling me to take this over, aren't you?
Under the radar totals trend. Yeah, I almost think I got to stick with the over here, even though I like Bubich and think he can hold down the Angels a bit. I mean, you're talking about a guy that's 5-0 to the over in his home starts, 9-1 to the over in his 10 starts overall this season with Heaney on the mound for the Angels. It's hard to ignore that kind of track record. So a smaller bet on the over, and I'm taking another shot here. Kansas City bounce back spot, plus 150. Even after winning last night, you can't tell me the Angels should be this big a price here in this one. Not in my mind. What do you think here, Connor? Royals, Angels?
I agree. Heaney, he pitched well his last start against the Giants, but I watch him every time his start. I'll watch it tonight. He gets touched. I'll take another shot with the Royals as well here, plus 150. He was just his first start, rookie, just got rocked in that first inning. And then the Royals scored a few runs and had some chances in that Angels bullpen, but got out of it. Some hard hit balls right at guys. But I'd be on the Royals as well. Yeah, I'd look at the under, maybe the full game. I could probably get over 8.5 here. Bubich just needs to if his changeup's working, he'll be well. He's got to keep it down. If that's going well, he will pitch well here tonight. So I'll take a stab with the Royals as well, plus 150.
All right, liking the Royals. And again, full game. I'm not even doing a first 5. It's all full game because, again, the bullpen comes into play, and KC's been better lately than the Angels. Jose, what do you think here, Royals, Angels?
This is a weird one, a tough one, but I would lean the over. I mean, your stats earlier about Andrew Heaney's starts were pretty funny, and I'll take the over. If it's begging to take the over, fine. Tie my hand behind my back and tell me I'll do it. But other than that, I would probably stay away. I do like Big Show. Thanks for popping it up, Stella. KC over team total 3.5. That's good too. But yeah, otherwise I'd probably stay over. Just betting overs here, probably.
All right, we got Arizona and Oakland, little interleague action here. John Duplantier and Chris Bassett, Oakland minus 220, home favorites, 8.5 the total in this game. The Athletics against this Arizona team that obviously has had their problems, and that's putting it mildly for the last several games. Duplantier's not been very good. He's given up 4+ runs in each of his 2 starts since joining this depleted rotation here for the Arizona Diamondbacks that has multiple guys currently ailing on it. And that's the reason he's in this rotation at the moment. So I don't necessarily peg him for success here against the Oakland Athletics. On the flip side, you got Bassett. Bassett overall, not bad at all this season. At home is usually where he's pitched his best in his Oakland Athletics career, pitching here in the Coliseum. So there's definitely a chance that he could neutralize and shut down this Arizona lineup. Arizona actually has been able to hit the ball decently in recent games, but will they be able to do that here against Bassett? That remains to be seen. 2.97 ERA for Bassett in his home starts this season, which is right in line with where he's been his whole career. He's really pitched well in this ballpark in the past. So I think Oakland wins, but I don't want minus 220. And if you like Oakland to win, why lay minus 220 when I think you could do a much better bet here with Oakland team total over 4.5 minus 120. Think about that. If you like Oakland to win, bet the team total over 4.5. You lay minus 120 instead of minus 220. Look at the difference. I think that is the way to go. That's the path to go here. Oakland team total over 4.5 minus 120. Connor, what do you think here? Diamondbacks, A's.
Yeah, well, Bassett pitched well here. He's got great numbers against all these D-backs. Duplantier gave up 5 runs against the Brewers again, and he's gotten touched in AAA. He had 2 or 3 starts there where his ERA was huge. No way do I want him here. I think there could be runs. The total at 8's got me a little bit, but you're right. I think if you like the A's, the team total of 4.5, even though the D-backs have bad numbers against Bassett, if you think there's going to be runs in this game, they're over 3.5 is plus 125. You got to trust the D-backs. They have scored some runs in games past, but these numbers against Bassett are pretty bad. Nobody's got really. Peralta's 2 for 6 with a jack. Yeah. That's about it off Bassett.
Yeah, there's no doubt that he's done well in the past against the Diamondbacks. That's why I think 4, and plus the team total with Oakland. Yeah, they could do some damage against a really bad Arizona bullpen. It's not just Duplantier. There's a horrible bullpen just waiting right behind him.
Yeah,
for Oakland to
5 innings,
get some runs across the plate against them as well. What do you think here, Jose? Arizona, Oakland.
This is another pass for me, but I've just been thinking about the pronunciation of this Diamondbacks pitcher. You guys both just dominated it. I was very surprised. And I was also
people
surprised
think when they look at it,
song.
maybe it's like he's French or something, Duplantier, but he's not. He's American born. I mean, it's not. They don't pronounce those names that way in the States. They're Duplantier. Yeah.
I would lean Chris Bassett over 6.5 strikeouts, but I'm looking for the John Duplantier song so you can start singing it.
Yeah, exactly. We'll have to see if we can work on that. Cubs and Padres, final game here of this massive slate. Zach Davies, Danielson, Lamet, your pitching matchup here. San Diego, almost minus 200 favorites here, 8.5 the total. I do favor the Padres here to win this game. It's a situation where, the Padres swept by the Cubs at Wrigley are trying to pay them back here. They got off to a good start last night with a victory. We'll see if they can keep it going tonight with Lamet. Lamet's still, trying to get back to his A form. He's trying to get stretched out, trying to keep getting better. He's been, dicey, I think, since he's been rejoined this rotation. On the flip side, you've got Zach Davies, 4.94 ERA overall, but a 6 ERA on the road. I mean, he's had his worst performances this season away from Wrigley Field. This is a game where I think you could see some runs in this one, particularly, San Diego team total over cashed last night. I wouldn't talk anyone out of that tonight. The full game over is 8.5. I would lean in that direction as well. And I think San Diego wins, but again, don't love the value or the lack of it here in this game with San Diego almost minus 200. I favor the Padres, but so do the betting markets. That's the problem. So that's why I would stay off the side. I do lean a little to the team total over for the Pods and the full game over 8.5 as well. We saw runs last night. I think we could see more tonight. Connor, what do you think here? Cubs, Padres.
Yeah, Lamet's last start was against these Cubs, and he looked really good. Will he, Cubs seeing him again? We'll see. Like you said, there could be runs. Davies, I just don't trust on the road. Man, it's tempting to take the Cubs here, first 5 plus 185 a little bit. You got to trust Davies. That's the only way I'd look here in this one. I'd want the Cubs maybe first 5. See if Lamet maybe just doesn't have it. Second time seeing the Cubs, they get to him a little bit. So I'd lean the Cubs first 5 plus 185 here. Just a lean. I haven't bet it yet. All
right, Jose, any thoughts here? Cubs and Padres.
Also lean first 5 over 4.5. I have it at even money in some books, and then another book I have it at let me see here at minus 115. That's pretty crazy different right there. So if it's plus money, I would take it. If not, then no. Otherwise, it's a pass for me.
All right, there we go. That is the Tuesday MLB card. Thanks to Jose Bouquett joining us as he does each Tuesday and Thursday on the show, and Conor Mac as well for great analysis on this slate. We will we'll give you our best bets as well as our Jack of the Day in just a few minutes. So looking forward to that, definitely. But before we do that, as we do at this time of the show each and every day, we will pause for just a couple of minutes for these messages from both Manscaped and Southtown 101. All right, Southtown 101. When you're in San Antonio, Texas, check them out. Great food, great drinks, live music as well. Southtown 101. Manscaped, promo code PubSports, 20% off your purchase. Take care of yourself. By the way, I saw their site the other day. They've got the Lawnmower 4.0 now. I don't know what the major difference is from that and 3.0, but hey, it's got to be better. It's newer. It's the latest version. So
better, baby.
Check it out. Well, yeah, lawnmower. Yeah, that's a good tool for you taking care of, those nether regions. If you're a guy out there,
save them balls.
Yeah, exactly, save them. Manscaped promo code PubSports, 20% off. Check them out as well. MyBookie.ag, promo code PubSports. It is definitely that time of year where there's still lots going on. NHL, NBA playoffs, Major League Baseball daily. The U.S. Open golf is next weekend, Father's Day. And, of course, NFL preseason is going to start in a couple months, I should say. A couple months, football season right around the corner. A good time to check out MyBookie.ag. Bitcoin, accepted currency for your deposit. So go visit MyBookie.ag and use promo code PubSports. All right, before we wrap up the show, it is time for the Jack of the Day.
Well, see you later.
There it is. The rabbit's out of the hat for me already in the Jack of the Day category for this show. Jesse Winker. Simple as that. Hammer time. And I don't do that usually for home run props, but 5 homers against Adrian Hauser. Incredible current form. When you get the combo of current form plus history of success against a particular pitcher, that's a good home run prop bet in my mind. And that's Jesse Winker for the Cincinnati Reds tonight. Connor, what do you think here with Jack of the Day?
I'll take a red, one of the other guys, Suarez, and give me, there's a few guys I like. Give me, God, I took him the other day. Give me Sano off Montgomery. He's 2 for 5 with a jack. I think he could get one off Montgomery today.
All right, very good. I like that one as well, actually. Jose, any home run prop candidates for you?
I'm going Jock Peterson. Jock Peterson today.
I already used him. It's a good one.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, there you go. Hey, I got Beautiful. You, Connor. I'm reading your mind here.
I knew you were going to use it. Jose.
Perfect. There we go.
All right, good stuff. It is time now for Best Bet to wrap up this edition of the Pub Sports Radio MLB Closing Time Show. Conor Mac, you're first up. You're at the plate. What are you looking at for Best Bet?
There's a bunch of – hold on one sec. Bunch of games, kind of a weird card. I'm going to take the first game on the board, and I hope they pitch well. I'm on the first 5 under 4, even money. You could probably get 4.5, minus 125. Dodgers, Pirates, could be sleepy early on. Brubaker's done pretty well, and who knows with the Dodgers. They either could go off for 8 runs or they can get shut out for 5. So give me the first 5 under 4, even money. Pirates, Dodgers.
All right, there you go. Pirates, Dodgers under 4, first 5 innings for Conor Mac. Jose Bouquett, what do you got for Best Bet?
I almost did Best Bet was Pirates first 5 money line, big dog again. But I loved the number that someone in the chat told me. Shout out to them. Marco Gonzalez over 4.5 strikeouts today. I think he said a minus 120, minus 110 around there. I love that. I thought it was going to be around 5, 6.5, giving me 2 extra strikeouts. I believe in Marco.
All right, you believe
All right.
in Marco. There we go. Marco Gonzalez and Detroit Tigers are nothing to write home about against lefties either. So, liking Marco Gonzalez and his strikeout prop over in this one. My best bet is going to be the Oakland Athletics. I'm going to do that team total with Oakland. This is a bad Arizona bullpen. Arizona's given up like 7, 8, 9 runs in so many games lately. And Oakland, sometimes their lineup can frustrate you. I hope this is not one of those nights, because I have seen nights where they face Bundy and they face some of these
They
other
better hit
pitchers.
this guy. Yeah.
Absolutely nothing. But Duplantier been no good. The bullpen's terrible behind him. It's just waiting for Oakland to score some runs tonight. So Oakland Athletics team total over 4.5, -120. As I said before, why lay -220 on Oakland money line when you can take 4.5 over -120? That's where the value is. Athletics team total over 4.5. My best bet for this Tuesday card. That'll wrap up this edition of the Pub Sports Radio MLB Closing Time Show. Thanks to Jose Bouquett for joining us as he does on Tuesdays. We'll be back with you tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific, for another MLB Closing Time Show. Connor and I will be back with you as well later today, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, NBA Pub Hub. Connor, me, Ski, and Dutch will be back to break down tonight's action, which is Game 2, Hawks Sixers, and Game 1, Clippers and Jazz. Should be a fascinating series, that one. We'll break down those two games later this afternoon on the NBA Pub Hub. For Conor Mac and Jose Bouquett, I'm Ian Cameron. Have a great Tuesday. Enjoy the games and good luck. We'll see you later this afternoon for the NBA Pub Hub right here on Pub Sports Radio.